frozen sides, and desserts, which provide a complete meal. Catering is also available for small groups or large gatherings. Call Honey Baked Ham today, 812-941-9426, or visit them 3602 Northgate Court, Suite 23 in New Albany.
It's March. Let's huddle up. Cater with Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill. Flame grilled chicken, fresh salsas made daily, hand-mashed guacamole, and the star of the season, our new mango salsa. Sweet mango salsa with a hint of lime. Pilot high on tacos, bowls, or burritos. It's a slam dunk of flavor. Hosting a watch party? Score big with quesadilla trays, our Three Amigos dips, or the melty, crave-worthy queso fundido. Bring championship flavor to the table at Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill. Fresh ingredients, bold flavor, 3 locations. Visit salsaritas.com.
At Valley View Golf Club, the game just keeps getting better. Over the last couple of seasons, Valley View has continued to add new improvements for members and guests. Enjoy the Tap-Ins dining room, now featuring 2 indoor golf simulators for year-round play. Every golf cart now includes a new GPS system to enhance your experience on the course. And to preserve the course's strategy and beauty, Valley View has planted over 120 trees in recent seasons. Valley View is also expanding its golf tournament program. Membership continues to grow, and a waiting list begins May 1st. So join today and experience everything happening at Valley View Golf Club.
Matt Dennison here, inviting you to join me weekdays at 11 a.m. for the Hoosier Report. Complete coverage of the Indiana Hoosiers, interviews with prominent figures in Kentuckiana sports, and discussion of other sports topics important to Southern Indiana. That's the Hoosier Report with Matt Dennison, weekdays at 11 a.m. on the home for the Hoosiers, 1450 WXVW.
It's time for Mondays with Dalton Pence on the Big X Sports Radio. Now, here's your host, Dalton Pence.
Oh, there we go. Whatever reason, couldn't hear in the headphones, but appreciate you all tuning in to this first Mondays with Dalton Pence episode here on the Big X Sports Radio. First episode in the month of April. For the guys, Dalton Pence, Roma Kelly, and Matt Childress, taking you up till 7 o'clock tonight. We've got a lot to discuss. It's officially the calm before the storm. The transfer portal opens up tonight at midnight. It will stay open until, April 21st? Got about 2 weeks to put your name into the transfer portal if you want to play for a different team next season. We're going to break down what we think the timeline is going to be on the first Louisville commitment. How many commitments do we think they're going to have by the end of the week? Just how crazy is the portal window going to be? I've got some thoughts on why Louisville just has to hit a home run in the portal. Like, they have to take care of business. And it kind of relates to some things that have been building up over the past couple of months to the past year. We've got Dan Furman, president of the 502 Circle, on the show from 6 to about 6:15. We're going to tell you who our top players are on our respective individual wish lists. Who do we want the Cardinals to go after? And we'll talk about a couple of specific names as well. 502-414-1450, the Gameday Mens Health text line, 502-414-1450. Be sure to send some texts over. If you have any questions for Dan, let us know in the Gameday Mens Health text thread. He will be on at the top of the hour, so get some shows in. Salt Lake Brian here, texting in after about a year. I'm pretty sure that this is for Mike, but heck yeah, appreciate you for tuning in, Salt Lake Brian. But first, guys, how we doing?
I'm good.
What's the vibe? Give me a vibe check going into, like, this is the calm before the storm. It's debatable on how wild the portal's going to be right out of the gate, but it does. The air is a little different here on this Monday.
Because I started here at the studio in the summertime last year, so it was basically summer radio for the entire first month or two that I've been here. And then when sports started up in August and September, it has just been nonstop, always having something to talk about, always something going on, always something to discuss. The last 6 or 7 days, I feel like I've been neglected in the world of sports. I feel like it's just been dead for the entire week. Ever since, Louisville's been out of it and the transfer portal hasn't officially been open. You can discuss, I like this player, but nobody's really jumping in or out besides a couple of guys across the country. I'm actually excited for it to open this week, because then, one, I'll just have stuff to talk about. I'll have stuff to discuss. Because it's been it's been a weird feeling having something to watch, something to discuss at all times, and then just like basically 6 straight days of nothingness.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to, stay pretty mellow throughout. Try not to get too high, get too low, right? Of course, I think that there are some rumors out there, some rumblings about who Louisville could potentially go after and who they may or may not be interested in. And truthfully, I've kind of just tuned it out a little bit because, like you, Matt, there's no reason in getting worked up in late March when the portal doesn't open for another week. Well, here we are. The portal opens up tomorrow, so it's pretty justifiable in terms of the conversation. Rome, what's up, man?
Not much. Not much. It's coming down to that time of the year. We're ending the college basketball season. We're about to crown a champion. That's always it's a weird feeling because it's exciting for college basketball fans and for basketball fans in general. But it's weird when your team's not there. It kind of is like I'm ready to watch this game, but I'm also ready to move on and fast forward to college basketball and know who our roster is. It amplifies wanting to know who we've got when you watch the end of the tournament kind of unfold. But I'm ready. I'm ready to get into the summer radio. I'm ready to chat with you here on our first show of April and get into all the nitty-gritty for what's ahead for our Cards.
So, like I mentioned, the portal opens up at midnight tonight. It'll stay open for about 2 weeks. Now, a player doesn't have to commit in that time frame. They just have to enter the portal before, I think it's April 21st or April 22nd is the deadline to be able to play next year for a different team. The NBA draft, did you see that date come across, Rome? Like the NBA draft or early entrant deadline?
I did not.
I think it's like May 27th, if I'm not mistaken. So you could probably foreshadow there being a second wave of portal commitments in late May, early June, but I'm hoping that Louisville has
June 15th.
June 15th. Why did I think May 27th? That's even later than usual. So
yeah, that's the last day you can withdraw and retain your college eligibility.
I mean, Louisville's roster probably needs to be 95% filled at that. But let me ask you all this, because I've kind of gone back and forth on this. Do you think we're going to see a wave of commitments right away at midnight? Do you think that things pop off tomorrow, or do you think it takes a while? Because I've gone back and forth, and I've talked to multiple people, many people that believe one thing or the other. Like, there's no consensus, unanimous idea out there. What do you all think?
I think it's going to take a little bit. I think it's going to take us about 4 or 5 days, and then they all just kind of come flooding in.
You think it takes that long?
I think so. Basketball is a lot different than how football is. There's just not as much of a player base. Like, there's not as many players out there as there are in football, obviously. So I feel like it's just, especially when you're Louisville and you have such a high payroll and you're going to be competing with the best schools in the country for the players you're going after. There's just going to be more debate and more, competition to get the guys you want to bring in. Whereas football, there's just so many more athletes out there that you can kind of space it out, I feel like, a little better, and it's more expected to get them earlier on. I feel like there's going to be a lot more competition than we believe.
I feel like you see the guards and even wing players gone immediately, committed tonight. They know who they're playing for tonight. They've already picked their number for their next jersey. I think the bigs, it's going to take a while. I think they're going to really, really, really test the market and see who's offering what and be willing to expand the schools you're going to go play at as well as a big. I don't see the bigs getting, like, the best 5-10 bigs committing very early.
I agree, Rome. Look, I think that because with the football portal, I thought that it was going to pop off right away. I thought it was going to be like NFL free agency where you see guys fly off the board immediately. Same thing with the NBA.
Where you're just putting it to paper that day.
Exactly. It's like, oh, well, how does insert player here already have a deal in 30 seconds of the window being open? Come on. Don't be naive. It's pretty clear what's going on. And if we see a wave of commitments at 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning, these deals didn't just get cooked up on Monday night in the early hours of Tuesday morning. But it's like in the football window, it took about, probably what Matt said, it took about 4 to 5 days for things to really get going. But I wonder, because the demand would be higher and there's less spots, I think that I kind of agree with Rome. I think that guards could decide sooner. But with big men, it's going to depend on, like, the top guys. When does Flory Badunga make his announcement? Because it's going to have a ripple effect on the portal, on college basketball, whether he decides to stay at Kansas, if he goes to Duke, if he decides to sign an NIL deal with Dizzy Wiz and play for Louisville. I mean,
if he gets a shoe deal.
It depends on who makes the early decision, Rome, because if you see some larger names in the front court still sitting out there, I could see your blue blood programs waiting.
It would be silly for a player like Badunga to go immediately pick another team when you
Why
know.
Would he? Unless he already knows his value.
Kansas is going to probably start upping that offer the longer you're in the portal.
Well, they did that last year.
I think they did the same with the Tiller kid, too, even though he was like
Tiller was a freshman
commit. Like I think he was testing around just to get the money upped as a freshman. But
can we just say, like, the prophecy must be completed? Bryson Tiller, 2015 Trap Soul album, 2026 playing for the Louisville Cardinals. Make it happen. I need Bryson Tiller in a Louisville uniform.
It'd be nice.
I also think
Do you think we could get him to have, like, the Donovan Mitchell special, but Bryson Tiller is the one who endorses him?
Like the Bryson Tiller?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the way it should be. Trap Soul's a brand, isn't it?
It is.
Did Tiller...
I think if the kid was from Louisville...
It was a whole, like, genre of music for, like, 3 years.
But Bryson's got to see that. Then again, I'm not even sure if Bryson's a Louisville fan. Of course, speaking of the Bryson.
I mean, he has a... Oh, gosh. What's the song? 502 Come Up that talks about Devontae Parker and all them all the time?
But he also says D'Angelo Russell in that song.
He does talk about D'Angelo Russell.
I think he's a fan of Louisville players from that era. And that's about it.
So somebody needs to go ahead and name their kid Jack Harlow, so in 19 years, Jack Harlow's like, I got to get this guy to play basketball.
What we're
Louisville.
saying is Roman in the producer room needs to be getting on and making an AI image of Bryson Tiller on the cover of Trap Soul.
Don't.
The thing about Bryson Tiller is he's going to command an insane amount of money, too.
But here's my thing. I was going to save this for after Dan Furman's segment, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not hearing this guy's going to command a lot. We know this. We already knew this. And my problem that I had when Louisville decided to bring in 0 high school commits, this was the problem that I had. The response to me saying, well, Louisville is not bringing in any high school commits, it's probably not the best idea. And the response to that from multiple people was, well, they're just deciding to spend that money in the portal. Okay. You know what? That's fine. But what you can't do in April is look at me and tell me that, oh, well, this guy's asking for too much. You decided to utilize the portal to fill your entire roster, basically. So, you see where I'm coming from here?
Yeah.
You can't sit here and just completely disregard high school recruiting, and that maybe that's not fair. Not disregard high school recruiting, but not
think you can take a year off.
Well, I mean, not or feel like you don't have to, I won't say overspend, but be able to match some bids, right? You have like lines drawn in the sand where Pat Kelsey doesn't want to go beyond that to bring in a certain player. And look, I don't necessarily disagree with it in theory, but in practice, you have to pick and choose your battles. And I do think that you need to bring in a handful of high school commits each cycle. Doesn't have to be 10 players, 2 to 3, to where you don't have to fill almost your entire roster because Mo Kamara is now in the portal after you redshirted him.
Even just one, if it's a Kanai.
Yeah.
I get Kanai's ranking in this current day and age is going to be a lot more money.
Said, whether it was Talon Kinney, I'm not sure about Colvin Landry. I think that UConn just won that commitment. But Talon Kinney, Tyron Stokes, Deron Rippey, insert high school player name here. I don't care who it is. The response was, oh, well, we'd rather spend the money in the portal versus recruiting a high school guy.
Could've just
Okay.
got Christian Collins, man.
Okay, well, if that's the case, don't sit here in April and tell me about how you don't have the money to go get a difference maker because you understood the risk. Oh, well, this guy's not worth that amount of money. That's not up for you to decide. The market is the market. The demand dictates the market. And you understand in the portal, the demand always raises. So I'll get off my soapbox now. I'm just telling you, I don't want to hear any of that for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Oh, well, yeah, well, we had a couple guys we were looking at, but they got more money than we thought that they should get. You can't say that anymore. At least I don't think so. Because you're at a point in time where you put yourself in this position where you had to fill 90% of the roster, 100% of the rotation, basically, with portal guys. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm not saying that I don't trust Pat Kelsey. I'm just saying that I'm just not going to be listening to this excuse that, well, we didn't get these handful of players because they wanted too much money. You knew that going into the portal. And that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, the market is so inflated now that this is one where even in the middle of this season, before the season even started, you saw like kind of where the numbers were projecting. If you're Josh Hurd, you should have been out there in the middle of the season figuring this out, being, hey, look, no matter what, probably not going to retain a lot of these guys. We're going to try and retain as much as we can. But everybody that Louisville as a program, the prestigious program they want to be, they want to get back to be, you're going to have to pay a pretty penny for the players that will get you back to a Final Four, back to a national championship aspirations. We're just playing professional sports now. If you want, it comes down to the fact, if you want a better team, you got to flesh out more money. That's just how it is. So you can't, like, I agree with you, Dalton. You can't use the argument, well, this guy's going to ask for a lot of money. Okay,
you decided to go portal heavy.
Yeah, that was your decision.
And the portal's asking a lot more money, too.
The portal is not going away anytime soon.
Nor is the inflation.
In terms of the inflation, right? I mean, the portal inflation's not going anywhere. We mentioned last week that this vast correction of the portal is not going to happen until collective bargaining is put into place. It's just not going to happen, especially when you have players like Flory Badunga or insert player here that's going to get a good amount of money. Now, we haven't even heard the full extent, right? I mean, Badunga is just the first name. There's some really good players in the portal now. There are going to be many others that enter. Of course, you got to be smart. Scouting is key because, I mean, last year, Mara at UCLA averaged like 6 and 4, and look what he's doing now for Michigan. It's not always about spending, right? I mean, just because you're the top spender doesn't mean that you're going to be the best team in the country. We saw that this year, didn't we?
Yes.
The top spender didn't make it to the second weekend. So, all comes down to scouting. But back to the original point. I think Rome, I'm with you here. I think we see a run on guards early on. Front court guys, it depends on the top players. Like Badunga. Does he commit early or does he wait until late April? Does he have the luxury of doing so? Because, yeah, maybe you're the top guy in the portal, but schools are only going to be in the mix for so long until they realize, we got to pivot. We have to fill this spot regardless. So, just depends on who you're going after.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a big man, I feel like it's in a really tough spot. You have, your starting big man, Sananda Frew, hit the portal last week and basically demand $3 million to return. And it's one where this is just setting the bar for the inflation to be absolutely outrageous for big men in the portal. So, like, if Frew wants $3 million, what are we expecting Flory Badunga to want? 5? 6?
12?
12? He's going to be our entire payroll? It's like...
If Sananda Frew gets $3 million, we're in trouble in terms of the portal.
That's what I'm saying.
We're in trouble.
Where are we letting the bar be set at? Are we just letting agents go out there and say a number and they're like, well, I guess that's what we got to pay him?
I mean, but that's the thing about it is like it's going to stay that way. That's why the market will never like truly correct itself until you've got structure and collective bargaining in place.
It's the same thing as
it's going to take the schools to be step and saying, you know what, you're asking for too much.
No, that's what it is. It's the same exact situation for. I mean, you guys are around my age. You guys play video games, right? Roman, I know you do.
To an extent, yeah.
To an extent.
I'm a Fortnite guy.
Okay, but like you've played 2K, right?
Yeah.
Dalton. Okay, so the big thing is why is 2K never getting any better? It's because people just buy it every year anyway. They don't care.
Still spending the money.
They still spend the money. Like so,
guys like me.
I love
2K11, 2K14 were the best 2Ks out there.
Okay, that's
by
great.
the way.
2K17 was the best one.
2K17 was fire too.
But the point is, I love 2K
But we're in
too.
2026.
I love 2K as well. But the thing is, I complain about how bad the game is, but I keep spending the money on it because I just love the camaraderie. I love playing with my friends. I love doing all that stuff. So I'm willing to put up with it.
You're just a vibes guy.
I am a vibes guy. But I can't sit here and say they need to do this, they need to fix this, they need to fix that, but I continue to buy into it. That's the way the portal is somebody out there will give Frew $2 to $3 million.
I don't know about that.
Somebody will.
But in theory, yeah, but you have to look at the player. $2 to $3 million.
I mean, Ole Miss gave James Scott like 1.5.
Do you think they would do it again this year? I do think that there are going to be times to where, because of the mistakes that we've seen in terms of overspending, you could see a little bit more reluctance, like a buyer beware type vibe from the portal, but it's still going to be inflated. Texter says, this class is probably trash, though, talking about the high school class. I do wish we got a few high-ceiling freshmen to play a few minutes. I'm not arguing that. I'm just arguing the fact that you didn't bring in a single high school commit. So by default, you kind of backed yourself into a corner and forced yourself to have to build your whole team via the portal. And some returning guys, and as of right now, Frew is in the portal, Roots is in the portal, Kamara's in the portal. There's rumors that Zugris wants more than they're willing to give him. Who knows with Adrian Woolley? It seems like I still think Woolley's gone. I think Woolley isn't back.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get my hopes up.
I figure my gut feeling is I don't think that Woolley is back.
I think that he's gone, but I am surprised we haven't heard anything about him hitting portal yet. Like, that surprised me.
Yeah, that is true. And who's left? Who's left? Zoo, Frew.
Kanai's gone.
London Johnson.
I don't think he's
who
gone.
at this point has not played a single minute of college basketball.
I don't think he goes.
I think London Johnson waits to see who Louisville brings in. That's my theory.
I generally don't think he goes either way. I mean, who's going to pick him up and what's he going to gain?
Like you said, all it takes is one school.
You're right, but I meant like who is going to pay him more than what Louisville?
It might not be a payment thing, really. It might be if Louisville brings in legit 2 to 3 legit starting guards, and you know they're going to start over London. It might not be so much money. It might be more so. I have 2 years of eligibility left. I need to play.
That's true.
Maybe next year is your showcase season, and then before your senior year, you get paid.
How many players do you think this season we see, or how many teams do you think this season we see pick up players midseason again?
Mid-season?
Hopefully none.
In what way? Like that play?
Yeah,
end up playing?
They think they need another London Johnson situation because that means there's some hole. That means they have a hole in the roster.
Until the loophole gets removed, you're going to continue to see it. I think less than 5, but I think there will be some. Probably 2 to 3.
I think so. Unfortunately,
maybe more. I guess I don't really follow the mid-major ranks. I don't know if this happens more frequently on the mid-major level.
Idea.
But I don't know. It's a good question. But I do think that we see our first commitment by Thursday. By this time Thursday evening at about 5:53 p.m., I think Louisville's got their first commitment.
And you think it'll be a backcourt piece?
Yes.
Okay.
But I could also see them wanting to get their front court squared away early on too, but I'm not sure that the front court is going to be ready to make those decisions because, like you said, the market's going to be different.
What kind of backcourt piece do you guys think it'll be? I'll ask both of you. Like, you think it's going to be like
Defensive guard.
Yeah, you think it's a
I
defensive
think
guard?
it's a defensive guard. I think it's going to be a facilitator.
Okay.
A guy that can score, but he's not like a true number one scoring option.
I think it's one of the best shooters in the portal or the best defensive guard.
The first commit, I mean,
What's the kid from Liberty's
honestly,
name? That's E-Town?
Brett Decker.
Yeah.
I think
I could see it being him.
I could see it being him as well.
Could also see it being the Bird kid and having that be
You think Louisville gets him?
I think they go after him.
I mean, I do too, but I think at this point in time, he's the top 3 player in the portal. I'm worried about him going down the road, but it seems like Baylor also could be in the mix there. Somebody's going to throw a huge amount of money, and that's something that we will kind of discuss more after we chatted up with Dan Furman here at the top of the hour.
Who was
really comes down to how much is Louisville willing to spend for one player. That'll tell you the caliber guy they're going to get. You want to go get a guy like Miles Byrd, better be ready to pay. You want to go get Flory Badunga, you better give him a blank check. That's what it takes to get a guy that's in such high demand. What are you saying, Matt?
I would say, who is the – okay, you said it on Locked On the other day. Who was the guy from San Diego State?
Oh, you tuned in.
I did. I listened
Miles
to it.
Byrd.
Oh, that's the same guy? Okay, I didn't realize he was –
Miles Byrd is, at this point, the best defender in the portal.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that was the San Diego State guy or somebody else.
Yeah, no, he's pretty dang good. Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. Arguably the best player the past 2 seasons for Brian Dutcher's team. Was on that 2023 national runner-up team. I think if there's a team in the state that he goes to, it's probably the team down I-64 East. But I'd love to see Louisville take a swing. So,
you don't have anything to miss without even trying.
well, no, you have to go after a certain player. The thing about it is when you have to fill basically your whole roster, you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the luxury of being able to wait for certain players. Even if you do, you have to have a first, second, third, fourth backup plan. But let's head to break. When we come back, we got the president of the 502 Circle, Dan Furman, joining us. Be sure to get those questions in 502-414-1450.
Your Saturday morning wake-up call on Big X Sports Radio. Wake Up 502 with Rashawn Myers every Saturday morning from 9 until 11 a.m. Only on WXBW 96.1 and 1450 a.m. The Big X. Joined by the architect himself, Haven Harrington. They bring you all the sports commentary and opinions on both local and national sports you need to get your weekend started. Wake Up 502. It's more than just talk.
Creamer Smoke Shop, your one-stop smoke shop since 1914. We've got the largest cigar selection, wooden pipes, and loose and tinned pipe tobacco. Right off 64 and 71 at 1839 Brownsboro Road. Call 502-584-3332.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Defining a new era in men's health, Gameday Men's Health delivers real results with no shortcuts. From testosterone replacement, weight loss to peptides, vitamins, and sexual performance therapy, Gameday Men's Health will have you covered. Their in-house lab gives you answers in just 15 minutes. And our clinic is designed for men who value privacy, speed, and results. Visit GameDayMensHealth.com. Real men, real science, most importantly, real change. Visit GameDayMensHealth.com.
Calling all young golfers. The PGA Junior League at Old Capitol Golf Club is the perfect way to learn the game, make new friends, and compete in a fun, team-based environment. Open to boys and girls of all skill levels, our PGA Junior League is coached by PGA professionals, helping kids build confidence on and off the course. Join the team and experience golf like never before. Sign up today at Old Capitol Golf Club and let's tee it up. Visit oldcapitalgolf.com to register now.
Louisville's longest-running pro sports team is back. Louisville Bats Baseball at Louisville Slugger Field. Family-friendly entertainment at budget-friendly prices. See future Cincinnati Reds in action. To plan your day at the ballpark, visit batsbaseball.com.
Options. When it comes to insurance, that's exactly what you deserve. I'm Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, and I've been proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. As an independent agent, we work with Auto Owners Insurance to find coverage that fits you, not the other way around. InsureMax delivers strength, service, and peace of mind through partners like Auto Owners Insurance. More choices, more options. Call me, Chad Hennessy, at 502-479-4085.
The plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians of Local 502's commitment to excellence can be seen in our community every day. The KFC Yum Center, Ford Motor Company, and the Omni Hotel are just a few examples of their professional craftsmanship. Local 502 has been part of our community for over a century and invests over $1 million annually training skilled local workers. Members of Local 502 are your friends, neighbors, and children's coaches. For more information, go to lu502.com. Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow.
There's not a better feeling to have a smile on your face after getting your car serviced. That's how it works at Consolidated Tire and Auto Care. Serving Kentuckiana for over 3 decades, fixing brakes, putting tires on, and servicing.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville.
Top of the hour here on this April 6th edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on the Big X Sports Radio. Dalton, Roman, and Matt taking you up till 7 o'clock tonight. It is the calm before the storm. Yes, the transfer portal opens up tonight at midnight. Rome, do we have our special guest on?
We've got him on.
We've got him on. Well, without further ado, let's bring 502 Circle President Dan Furman into the discussion. Dan, how are we, sir?
Doing well, man. It's almost time. Everybody's been gearing up for quite some time here, and we're ready to rock.
So let me ask you this, because obviously this is an exciting time for fans. But being in your shoes, are you able to really enjoy the excitement at all? It feels like it's just you're going 100 miles an hour in multiple different directions.
Yeah, it's a fun time, man. There's not a lot of enjoyment in it anymore, which is okay, but it's become such a beast, right? But not just in football, but in basketball as well, that you've got to be so prepared leading into it. That quite frankly, when it gets to the point where it's opening day of the portal, there's been 3-4 weeks of diligent preparation happening leading up to that, let alone all the work and conversations and relationships you're building throughout the course of the year to get there. So by the time it actually opens, it's operating like a well-oiled machine, and it's not the first time we've done it. So the guys are ready to go, and then obviously we got one of the best staffs in the country to be able to conquer something like this, and we got a lot of work to do, so it's going to be fun.
Dan, I'm intrigued with the timeline of the portal this year, and obviously it's later than years past, with it being the day after the national championship instead of the NCAA tournament. I'm curious as to how fast this thing is going to go, because we saw with football, it took a couple days for things to really start going. Do you kind of foresee that same thing with the basketball portal, or with there being sort of a higher demand and less spots, do you think we start seeing some names fly off the board earlier, potentially on Tuesday?
Yeah, so one caveat that they added in this year's portal is that you can't visit until the 10th. So they can enter the portal on Tuesday, but they can't visit anywhere until Friday. So any athlete that's in the portal, you may hear a couple of names get off the board, but I have a good feeling that tomorrow you're going to start to see a lot of visits get lined up, which will be a telltale sign of where guys are leaning. But it just goes to show you how much work is done on the front end of this thing, that when that thing opens, you got to be ready to go. You got to be getting guys on campus, and you got to be active in the sense that things will move quick. But I've actually seen this year it's not as fast as it's been in the past. And I think that part of that is because everybody's waiting to see how things shake out. The game has gotten smarter. Agents are a little bit more sophisticated, and front offices are more sophisticated than they've ever been in college sports. So I think everybody's trying to position themselves in a spot where the market's where they need it to be, and they're able to maximize the opportunity both from a basketball standpoint and financially.
So when you've got of course, a good portion of this rotation has graduated, lost eligibility. You've got some guys that have moved on that will play professional ball and do other things in their cycle of life. But with the spots that you need to fill, like, what does that timeline look like for how long can you wait on a specific player? Is it really kind of by situation, by case on a certain recruitment, or is it something to where you can prioritize certain players and wait for others just depending on how the roster shakes out?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think there's a lot of nowadays there's a lost art in the game, both football and basketball, where like there's not always a science to everything, right? There's a little bit of a delicacy to it where you got to have some feel, and we're big on the sense of you recruit high character guys, you got to recruit the right people. And they're not always available, right? So you want to move quick. If you find guys that you identify that make a lot of sense, you move on them and you try and get things wrapped up and done as quickly as possible. But there are going to be situations where the list is long. Maybe the position's a little bit deeper than others. Maybe a deep market right now. It seems like on-ball guards is really it's deep. It's a deep market. So you want to get the ones you want. You want to dial in and go. You want to be a little bit more selective on positions that you only have a few options to see if anybody else jumps in, and you may be able to get creative or get a better price on someone. So it depends. It's all it's an art, man, and you got to be patient. And I love our staff to death. So that's one thing that these guys they're ready to go. They bring a ton of juice. So they want to get after and be active early, and it'll be a fun cycle.
It seems like the past couple of years with the second weekend of the tournament and beyond, you're seeing teams with, the most athleticism in the country, teams that have a lot of size in the front court that really dominate around the rim. So when they have some colder shooting nights, they're able to kind of mitigate that loss with their ability to dominate in the paint. Is that something that you feel like needs to be sort of a priority moving forward as you kind of watch the game of college basketball gravitate towards teams dominating with more size, athleticism, and defense?
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll see a real priority on that this cycle. And as you continue to watch the games, right, you just see the athleticism and the pace. So as much as it looks like, we need to dominate down low and you need to be really, you also need really good guards that can play at an elite level and go get you a bucket and win games whenever they need to, right? So it's a balance, and you've got to make sure that the guys you're recruiting are guys that ultimately are bought into this thing at a high level, and our staff will do a great job of that, identifying guys that make a lot of sense for Louisville and take a lot of pride in wearing Louisville across their chest and want to go compete for a national championship.
Obviously, we know that Louisville, since Pat Kelsey's gotten here, has definitely recruited the international ranks and, of course, happening again. How do you sort of juggle recruiting top international guys along with your top portal guys? Obviously, the portal is going to be going rampant. How do you juggle recruiting international and the portal at basically the same time with a relatively new coaching staff?
Yeah, everything that you do is about getting the best, the max gross on every player that you can get, right? And you say that as it's not a negative thing anymore in college sports. And realistically, if you look at the board, and there's international players on the board that are better than some domestic guys that are being recruited, then you go do what's best for the program, and you take a guy at a better price from an international program. So it all depends, and it's you want to make sure you prioritize it to the sense of if you do for sure have a better player, you want to make sure you act on it, and that's in anything, right? In both sports, the idea of it is you're going to take the best guy available at the best price possible. So you're constantly monitoring the board to see where you're at, but I wouldn't say that there's more of an emphasis or less of an emphasis on international recruiting, but it's always something that this staff, they do a phenomenal job of tracking, diving into information, and figuring out where there's value to be had when it comes to roster construction.
So let me follow up with this question, Dan. Dan Furman, president of the 502 Circle, joining with us on this segment of Mondays with Dalton Pence. Dan, how do you sort of navigate those conversations then and those decisions? Because, of course, with the portal getting inflated, asking prices get a little high at times. Where do you kind of draw the line in the sand? Is that just internal discussions with the coaching staff? Is it different for different positions at different calibers of players? Because, of course, you've got a budget that you have to focus on as well.
Yeah, and it's all different based on the position you're working with, and then ultimately it comes down to what does this individual player mean to the roster? What's it do to the ceiling? What's it do to the floor? And I think you're constantly evaluating it, because the crazy thing is you have a certain budget you got to stay within, and right now there's not a lot of dominoes that are falling. So as those dominoes continue to fall and boxes become checked, you look at the roster a little differently. And I think that sometimes you may want to go get another guard that can take us to a national championship, but it may make more sense to add a big. So those are constant conversations that the group has, and PK does an unbelievable job of leading the ship in the way of, hey man, we're going to make sure that we're going to do whatever we have to do to go put a championship team on the floor. And Josh and his team and the administrative side are second to none. They're aggressive. They're forward thinking, and they're always going to put this program in a position to succeed at a national level.
The past couple of years, of course, injuries are a part of the game. They're part of sports in general, but it seems like the past couple of years, the roster and the rotations kind of got decimated by bad injury luck. Do you take that into consideration when recruiting portal players? Obviously, it's a pretty quick turnaround of recruiting guys and getting them committed, but how much does medical history really become a focal point in these recruitments?
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful of it. And I think there's times where it can back you off, but then there's other situations where it's freak accidents, right? It's a broken bone. It's something like that keeps a guy out for a majority of the season. And with that, you got to go with the ebbs and flows, and you have to really understand what you're looking at. But it's definitely part of the conversation, and you have to make sure that you keep into full tact that, hey, listen, like the best ability is availability. So you move quickly on guys who can really put you in a position to go out and compete every night and win games. And quite frankly, like a lot of that is coming now in the portal with older grizzly guys who have gone through the grind of those seasons, and they've felt what it's like to play nicked up and go through that battle. And I think that while you're going through the portal cycle, it makes a lot of sense to acquire talent that knows what a full college season looks like and is prepared for it.
Dan, I wanted to ask, Pat Kelsey obviously hires John Anderjek, a more defensive-minded assistant head coach, and a lot of fans were excited to see that after, the kind of issues that there were on the defensive end this year. Do you think that gives us a little bit of a hint that, can you give us some insight on maybe that's a different direction that you might be going in the portal this year? Maybe some more defensive, ended heavily players, or do you think that we kind of see a similar philosophy that we saw this past season?
Yeah, there will definitely be an emphasis on it, and coach is an animal. He always wants to defend. He wants to make sure that his teams play with that energy, effort, and enthusiasm. And I think when you take a look across the board, every player you look to acquire, you want to make sure that they can defend. And then you got to, when they get here, like you got to get buy-in, right? And I think that coach will do a great job of that. And there will definitely be an emphasis on guys who have had success defending at an elite level, and can defend when their number's called. I think that we're in great position to get some guys who you guys will be really excited about on the defensive side of the ball.
Dan, a couple more here. Is there seemingly becoming an emphasis on potentially bringing some guys back home, guys that either are from the city of Louisville or the surrounding areas that went elsewhere to start their college careers but have since entered the portal? Is there a growing emphasis on bringing guys, quote-unquote, back home because of the allure of having guys playing for the name on the front of the jersey, being fans of Louisville growing up?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's always situations that line up and make sense, but it's got to be the right group, right? It's got to be, at the end of the day, Louisville basketball expects to compete nationally for a national championship. And I think across the board, administratively, Josh and his team and PK and his team, and across the board, from a fan base standpoint, that's the expectation, to try and go win championships. So when you really look at it, it's hard to look at guys under a microscope like that. Say, oh, because they're from here, because they're like. At the end of the day, it's about getting the best player possible. And even if you do take a player who's local and is originally from here, you would have to still want to take that player whether they were from Louisville or from Seattle, right? So I think it's really important to make sure that as you go through the process, it's the best player on the board and can help us go win a championship. So if all those things align, I think it'll definitely make sense to add him to the roster and go try and win a lot of games.
Last question for you here, Dan. Obviously, you work closer with Pat Kelsey than 99% of the people in the city of Louisville. This is a key offseason. Progress has been made from year 0 to year 1, from year 1 to year 2. There is, a growing desire for this program to get back into national contention. And it seems like via his words on the documentary that he's in, and then, with some of the changes that he's made already this offseason, that Pat Kelsey, he gets the assignment. He understands the assignment. Can you speak a little bit more to that and his mindset of this job and how committed he is to making some of those changes this offseason?
Yeah, and that's a great concept, man. Like, one thing I'll say about PK is you literally will not find somebody who's going to outwork him. And this is a guy who demands excellence from everybody around him, his staff, his players, trainers, medical staff, whoever it might be. This guy wants the best out of everybody. And he's been fortunate enough to be able to do that quite often in his career, right? That's why he's at Louisville, and that's why he's won a lot of basketball games and put himself in position to have a national contender year in and year out. There's the other piece of this is that as coaches grow in their time at Louisville and they continue to have success and there's ups and downs, they have to be willing to change and adjust. And I think that PK is one of those guys. Like, he's not stuck in his ways. He's not too, I guess you'd say he's humble enough to say, hey, man, we got to change some things. We got to make some adjustments here, and we have to do these things differently to be as good as we want to be. And for me, that's all it takes. Like, if guys are willing to adjust, they're willing to change midstream, like he has. Like, he's got what it takes to go win a national championship, and you're not going to find anybody who's going to outwork him to go do that. So it's going to be fun. The city's in good hands. The program's in good hands. Like, there's nobody better than this guy to go try and win a national championship with Louisville basketball.
Well, Dan, appreciate your time. Hopefully you're able to get as much sleep as you can over this next month, and we look forward to the roster being put together.
It's awesome, man. Appreciate your guys' support, and we're looking forward to talking to you guys soon, and hopefully next time we talk, this thing's pretty well built out.
Of course. When we come back, more conversation. Portal opens up tomorrow. You're tuned into Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio.
Welcome to Greg Coates Cars and Trucks. I'm Jamie Coates.
And I'm Buren Coates. Did you know Greg Coates Cars and Trucks is your one-stop shop for your next certified pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV for less?
And when the competition says no, we say yes.
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 Hi, this is Dalton Pence with Big X Sports Radio. Are you looking to make your backyard dreams come true? All America Pool has been installing state-of-the-art in-ground pools for over 50 years. A family business in Louisville, they offer everything from retail, parts, service, to above-ground and in-ground construction. Give them a call at 502-448-0300 or visit them at 4646 Dixie Highway in the South End. That's All America Pool.
Swing into the action at Park Mammoth Golf Club, a breathtaking and challenging course just off I-65 in Park City, Kentucky. Stay in the know with the Park Mammoth Golf Club app. Get course updates, special offers, GPS, gift cards, and easy tee time bookings. After your round, unwind at the Mammoth Grill, where delicious food meets stunning course views in our brand new clubhouse. Visit parkmammothgolfclub.com and experience the best in golf today.
I'm Kathy Binkaman. Over the holiday, there was an attempted fraud attack. My personal banker, Mary Rose, and I networked together, and the first thing that I thought of was I have to text her. And it was just within the next few minutes, there was an entire team that came together collectively. And that's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Does your business look as professional as the work you do? At Matley Digital Solutions, we help local businesses stand out with custom signs, eye-catching vehicle wraps, high-quality print, branded apparel, and professional graphic design. From concept to installation, our team delivers master-level craftsmanship and responsive service you can count on. Whether you need to turn your company vehicle into a moving billboard or make your storefront impossible to miss, Matley Digital Solutions is here to help. Visit MatleyDS.com or call 502-375-2525.
The plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians of Local 502's commitment to excellence can be seen in our community every day. The KFC Yum Center, Ford Motor Company, and the Omni Hotel are just a few examples of their professional craftsmanship. Local 502 has been part of our community for over a century and invests over $1 million annually training skilled local workers. Members of Local 502 are your friends, neighbors, and children's coaches. For more information, go to lu502.com. Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow.
Computer acting up at the worst possible time? Call locally owned, on-site Louisville Computer Repair Company. With over 30 years of experience, we provide fast, same-day computer service for homes and businesses right at your location. No waiting, no guesswork, just expert help when you need it most. Call 502-963-3981. That's on-site Louisville Computer Repair Company. 502-963-3981.
Go. Hi, this is Dalton Pence with Big X Sports Radio with a message to you from Collier Law Firm. Have you been injured in an accident or on the job? The Collier Law Firm's got your back. The Collier Law Firm is more than just a typical injury law firm. It's a team of former insurance defense attorneys and paralegals with unbeaten experience. And with attorney fees starting at just 25%, Collier Law Firm puts more money back in your pocket because they have your back, not your wallet. Don't settle for less. Trust Louisville's own Tony Collier and the Tony Collier Law Firm to get you the best results. Visit us today at CollierLawFirm.com. That's COLYER lawfirm.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Greg Coates Cars and Trucks. I'm Jamie Coates.
And I'm Beard Coates. And this is Teddy Coates.
For over 60 years, we've made it fun to buy a car.
We are family friendly and dog friendly.
And remember,
you can afford it. Yes, you can at Greg Coates Cars and Trucks.
Two segments down, 2 segments to go here on this April 6th edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence. If you're just joining us, Dan Furman, president of the 502 Circle, was on for about 15 to 16 minutes answering all of the top questions without, of course, mentioning specific names. Can't really do that, but I feel like we got some good insight, gents.
I think so, too. I think that I feel really good about us getting Wes Enos in the portal now, and I think he's going to be a great addition.
Seems like it's...
You guys didn't think that was very funny.
I didn't laugh. Was I supposed to?
Yes, it was supposed to be funny.
Oh, it was supposed to be a joke? It was a bad joke.
And, well, I know that's why it was, because I don't want Wes Enos. That's why it was a good joke.
Oh, now I get it. Still not a good joke.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I'm just messing with
whatever
you.
Whatever you want to say over there.
The vibes are good. I'm not going to ruin the vibes, man.
You already did. It's over.
Pain. But I guess Rome and I might need to change up our opinion a little bit because Dan pointed out something that I had failed to realize. Visits can't be made until the 10th. Could we still see a guy or two commit? Maybe. I don't think we're going to see names fly off the board. So, made an interesting comment that seems like tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be all about setting those visits up. I will make this point as well. That first visit is critical. People are like, oh, well, you'd rather get the last visit. No. Not in the portal. Get the first visit and don't let them take any other ones.
No, I mean, you saw a lot.
Success rate 100%.
You saw a lot in the football transfer portal, and they made a note of it that, hey, if we got guys on campus, we try to make sure they didn't leave the campus.
That's
We
the
tried
way it's got to be.
We tried to sign him immediately. We got lucky with the whole Tyler Thompson situation because that was supposed to be.
It happens every now and again where a guy visits and then he leaves and goes somewhere else and then he leaves that school and then commits to yours. It doesn't happen often.
No, you need to
Just
sign
like
guys
not
when
every
they're on here.
two-star you bring in becomes Russ Smith. It's an outlier. Get a guy on campus. Don't let them leave without committing.
I still think we see a couple commits before the 10th.
I think we see. I'll say this. I think we see one, at least one. At least one player will commit before Friday. That's what the 10th is, Friday, right? I should know that. The Kings play on Friday. We got to get a win this week, Roman.
We need one badly.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. We need to get the win this weekend.
It's just the defense actually looked a lot better.
Defense looked really good. Just offense just couldn't move the ball.
The first week, the defense was kind of miscommunication.
Got to find a way to. The offensive line's got to be better.
It does. It's really bad.
Offensive line's got to be better. Quarterback play, I think, has to be.
Chandler
improved
Rogers.
I thought he looked good in the
He was
first half.
slinging that thing for a little bit.
Got to convert in the red zone as well.
Orlando's also got a really good red zone defense. They did really well against our first week matchup too.
Jack Plummer with a vintage Jack Plummer throw in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, I'll ask you this then. Let's change the question up. By this time, let's say by next week's episode, how many players are committed? Next week's episode, how many players are committed? Over or under? What would the line be set
I
at?
think
3.5.
You think it's that low?
I was going to say 5.5.
I was going to say 5.5.
It's only 2 weeks of a portal. You got to fill out the whole roster.
It's 2 weeks of guys having to enter the portal. But
Yeah,
I think once things go quickly, we saw things go fast in Pat Kelsey's first cycle.
I think that I'm being hopeful because I think if we want to see Louisville get a really great roster, that line needs to be 5.5. You need to see these guys come off the board early.
I don't think you can afford to wait for some of these guys that are going to be in bidding war situations. I also think that helps you. Go get your guys that you know that you can get and then swing for the fences. You want to go out there and target a Flory Badunga? Cool. Make sure that you have a pretty good backup plan if he goes somewhere else.
Who do you guys think genuinely returns?
Returns? If you set the line at 1.5, I might take the under.
And who do you think that one is?
I think Zoo. I think Zoo comes back. Even though there were the rumors last week about the asking price, I think he's going to really understand that that's not out there. Who's giving Zugris $1 million?
The only thing.
Who?
I don't think anybody, but the only thing about Zugris' situation, and I think it's the opposite of Fru's, where Fru is out here, he will more than likely probably just go back to Bundesliga and this and that every once. And he announced that he just didn't really care about the money. He just wanted to stay in a situation he was already comfortable in a situation like that. And his agent kind of stepped in and said no. I think Zugris fully understands that he's not going to be an NBA player. He's going to go back to where Greece and everything. I think he genuinely is going to do his best just to get a bag and then leave. I think that he's going to do everything he can to get as much money as possible.
Is somebody going to give him more money than Louisville?
Maybe.
Texter says, what's up? It's Drex. What's up, Drex? How likely are we to get Surreal from Georgia? Any chance? I'd love to have him. I feel like Somto Surreal, the Georgia center, has been a name that's been floated out there. Had a really good sophomore season, one of the best shot blockers that will be in the portal. Offensive game is still growing. If you said the Cardinals had Surreal as their starting center next year, I'd say, great, fantastic, love it. And not think twice about it. Because he's a guy that does everything that you need. He defends really well. He's a rim protector. He can play above the rim and be a rim runner.
Lob threat.
He's a lob threat. And he can bang down low. That's all I'm asking for. Your 5 doesn't need to be the most skilled player on the floor. He just needs to be able to play his role.
I'm going to go on a limb and say we are probably going to have to expunge a significant amount of money on at least one player.
Well, Surreal's going to have a market because Arkansas is there. Do you remember that Surreal was committed to Kentucky at one time, wasn't he?
Yeah, when that was
with John Calipari. But that's why Arkansas, you know what they're going to do. I'm interested to see how they're going to play him and Malik Ewan at the same time, or not at the same time, but have them on the roster at the same time.
I couldn't remember.
I thought Ewan was done.
I thought he had another year. Maybe I'm wrong.
Didn't something go down with Cyril's recruitment there? Like he either didn't, he was going to redshirt or something, and
not sure.
I don't remember.
Let's see. Rome. He played 3 years of D1 ball or like Power 4 ball. I'm not sure if he played. Anyway, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. But Cyril's going to cost a good amount because he's going to be, like you said, the market's going to be inflated for the front court. Super inflated, because what's going to happen is some of those schools that either A, missed out on Badunga, or B, thought, not sure that we're going to be in that price range, you could take a little bit of a step down and still get a very, very good defensive center.
It's one where I think Louisville will go after almost every hot heavy hitter in the front court in the portal, at least like throw a phone call out to them.
I hope.
Well, I mean, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
It's one where you should probably expect every single major program to be calling Flory Badunga at the same time, and this dude's phone will be ringing off the hook. Maybe there is a chance that maybe you say, I'm going to step away from that one, and I'm going to go all out on a guy like Santos Cyril instead.
But you have to imagine that's going to be what other teams do as well, and that's going to raise everyone's price up, right? So the second part of this is how excited were you to get John Anderzak? Insanely excited. I think he's a home run hire. I really do. Appreciate the question, Drex. But it comes down to this. Whether it's Badunga, Cyril, or insert player here, how comfortable is Louisville to get into a pretty large-scale bidding war? I think they have a really good budget. I don't think it's top 3, top 5. I think it's top 15 at the very worst, probably top 10. Are you comfortable with all the spots that you have to fill of getting into a bidding war that could be around 3 to 4, maybe $5 billion, depending on who you're talking about?
Roman?
Not really.
Exactly.
I'd like to avoid those.
That's why I love the idea of Badunga playing at Louisville. I think he is an incredible player. I just have my doubts about whether or not, because we haven't really seen Louisville win these types of recruitments, right? These bidding wars. Maybe Adidas does help out a bit. But if that's the case, why wouldn't they just help him go back to Kansas? Because this very well could be Bill Sills' last year coaching.
The one thing for me is I think that you're going to have to get over the fact that you're going to have to get into some bidding wars with these guys. Like the transfer portal this year is just statistically not as good as it's been, with most of the field, the COVID year stuff kind of being over now, and guys are getting to the ends of their legs of all that era. It's just not. There's just not as many players in the portal as there were last season, the season before. You're going to have to go up and start trying to punch above your weight when it comes to NIL and it comes to your budget. You're going to have to overspend on some guy to kind of assert yourself, because, hey, if you can go out and get, let's say best case scenario on, he said Wednesday, right, is when the visits go in, the 10th, or is it Thursday?
The 10th is Friday.
Friday, okay. Let's say on Friday you get a notification, best case scenario, Flory Badunga is on campus. And they're like, I'm not letting this guy leave.
If you're willing to think about it, is like to secure a commitment from that level of player, you have to be willing to basically hand him a blank check.
Yeah.
Which it's not my money. I would.
No,
I'd say, here, man, sign your name.
And that's all.
Fill in the blank.
Let's say best case scenario, he gets on campus and that's what they decide to do. You're going to have to bank on, look, we went all out for you. You're going to have to be another recruiting piece for the rest of this portal situation.
That and your scouting's got to be pretty on point. You've got to hit on a couple of diamonds in the rough that you bring in.
And I think that's just how you win in college basketball.
I think that the recipes, you pay 7 to 8 players really good money, and you take some swings on some less costly pieces that can fill out your roster and rotation, and if 1 to 2 of them are able to play a regular role in your rotation, then you win.
I think that with what we saw this past season, where you saw that Pat Kelsey really tried to share the wealth, down to 9 to 10 different guys, And, a lot of these were really good hits in the portal, a lot of good returns. Javon Hadley, everybody coming out, Ryan Caldwell coming out of the portal, Adrian Willie coming out the portal.
I think that's one of the, you do mention something pretty key. Woolley, if he stays, you're devoting a good amount of money for him to stay. So I still think he goes, but it is interesting to monitor that.
I could see us swinging way above our weight for 3 or 4 guys, and then
taking the first one that wants to join.
I'm talking like yes, if you have to overpay him, you grab the best possible situation for 3 or 4 positions, spend a ridiculous amount of money. I'm not saying this I want them to do. I'm saying with what we saw last season where they tried to share the wealth, I could see them going 3 or 4 guys deep where they are paying them obscene money, trying to get the best guys at that position in the portal, and then you take the lower payout risk for the 5 to 9 range, where that's a big risk because your depth is probably going to take a hit. But Pat Kelsey's had an issue with rotations in the past 2 seasons, where maybe you force yourself into a smaller rotation, you force yourself into a little bit less depth, but at the end of the day, more consistency in your starting 5. And then you use that to, like you said, you trust your scouts, you trust your coaches to go out there and get you those guys at the mid-major level for a cheap price, and those kind of build out your bench.
Rome?
I think that you've got to prioritize making the changes that you needed to make from their play style in the last 2 years, which is getting those size in certain positions that you didn't have it, but also getting the correct players for your offense too. I know you're asking an impossible question, but I feel like I don't want to be the team that overcorrects with their recruiting this season for their play style. We averaged 86 points per game. We still did some very extravagant things on the offensive end. I feel like it's just finding that way to get that balance now. And I don't think you can do that if you spend $5 million on one player.
Yeah, I mean, look, $5 million is a significant chunk of your budget. It's a significant chunk of 99% of the budgets out there. You just have to be understanding that if you go out and get a player like that, A, you have to have a good budget elsewhere, but B, the scouting's got to be good. I look at Michigan. They spent some money to get Yaxel. They also brought in some pieces that Dusty May and company have been able to elevate to a higher level of play. When we come back, we're going to give some thoughts, some predictions, if you will, and then also discussing some wish lists. Who do we want Louisville to go after and more? Don't go anywhere. Get your thoughts in 502-414-1450. You're tuned into Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio.
Join Miller's Mini Barns for our spring open house sale, April 10th and 11th. Enjoy free food and prizes and enter to win a $1,000 gift card. From our Amish handcrafted outdoor furniture, durable sheds, barns, and pavilions, to our expanded line of pergolas and outdoor kitchens and grills, Miller's can help you create the perfect outdoor living experience. See you at the open house at 5217 Charlestown Road, New Albany on April 10th and 11th. Miller's Mini Barns, creating spaces that feel like home.
Louisville's longest-running pro sports team is back. Come check out Louisville Bats Baseball at Louisville Slugger Field. Family-friendly entertainment at budget-friendly prices inside the best minor league ballpark in America. See the Cincinnati Reds of tomorrow up close and personal today. And the Bats promotional schedule is something for everyone. For a full look at the 2026 schedule and to plan your day at the ballpark, talk to a real person at 502-212-BATS or head to batsbaseball.com.
Hi, I am Old Man Bailey, and do I ever have an amazing story to tell you. I just published a textbook that will teach you how to flee the city, buy land, and how to build your own home with 1800s cabins and barns. If you follow my plan, you could also massively increase your personal net worth and change your family forever. Go to oldmanbailey.com, oldmanbailey.com.
Calling all young golfers. The PGA Junior League at Old Capitol Golf Club is the perfect way to learn the game, make new friends, and compete in a fun, team-based environment. Open to boys and girls of all skill levels, our PGA Junior League is coached by PGA professionals, helping kids build confidence on and off the course. Join the team and experience golf like never before. Sign up today at Old Capitol Golf Club and let's tee it up. Visit oldcapitalgolf.com to register now.
Medical professionals today advise our elderly and disabled parents to interact daily with their peers. It helps keep them both physically and mentally active, and possibly even avoiding dementia. Buena Vida Adult Day Health Center is one of the Louisville area's most trusted and professional agencies. Buena Vida brings a much-needed multicultural approach to adult daycare, also offering home care, case management services, home-delivered meals, and more. Visit online at buenavitaky.com and schedule a visit today. Funded by traditional Medicaid and private pay.
Growing out of your space or needing to trade your rent for equity that works for you? Hi, I'm Angie Shaw Pryor of family-owned Rickshaw Realtors, and I can make your ideal home come to life in Jefferson, Oldham, and surrounding counties. Rickshaw Realtors has been serving the area for over 3 decades. You'll be carried away by our professional services. Call me, Angie Shaw Pryor, Rickshaw Realtors, 502-821-0101, 502-821-0101.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank, time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for a relaxing round of golf? Make sure to check out Wooded View Golf Course. Just minutes from downtown Louisville, this 18-hole course is nestled amidst the serene landscapes of Clarksville, Indiana. With a full driving range, pro shop, and bar and grill, Wooded View will have everything you need to have a great day out on the course. Make sure to visit their website at woodedviewgc.com, or you can call the pro shop at 812-283-9274 to book your tee times for Wooded View Golf Course.
6:41 here on this April 6th edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on the Big X Sports Radio. Dalton, Roman, and Matt taking you up till about 6:59 tonight, so just a little while longer of us just talking nonsense, acting like we know ball, when in reality, we're just a couple guys waiting for the Louisville Kings to win their first game. But we're going to get there this weekend.
It's going to happen.
We're speaking that into existence. The Kings are winning their first game.
Look, Saturday, they were downloading data. They were getting some tape on the Orlando Storm, and now we're going to put it into fruition on Friday night.
Rome, we have to will the team to victory on Friday night.
I mean, I'm ready to suit up.
I better see 4 dance cams, Roman.
I'm ready to pull the cleats out.
He's going to be on the QB cam.
He's going to have the ACL brace on. We need you on the front line.
Look, let me throw it and let me kick everything. I want that 4-pointer.
I will never get over, like, during the Russell Dickerson halftime show, they were like, this is going on too long. So Tanner Brown came out and started kicking, like, 50-yard field goals in the dark.
Did he really?
Yeah, because they only had, like, 4 minutes to warm up. So he came out there mid-performance, couldn't see anything, was just kicking into the fan section. Loved it.
So, over-under, 4.5 commits by this time next week.
I like that line.
4.5. Ah, that's tough. I think 4. So I'm going to go under.
Okay.
I'm saying over.
I'm going to go, oh, gosh. Because I think we get one before the 10th. I think we get one before Friday. That means you would have to get 4 more over the weekend.
I think we're gonna see a lot of names visiting on the 10th, and I think that they're gonna prioritize letting that first wave leave.
I'm gonna say over.
I'm saying,
but over. I don't feel great about it. Just putting it out there. Don't feel great about it. I could definitely see it being like 3 to 4. So let me ask you all this: what would your prediction be on the first commitment?
The very first one
We've heard some of the name rumblings, right? I mean,
I think it's a returning player.
That doesn't count. Well, hold on now.
A returning player in the portal or a player on the roster now?
Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't count if it's on the roster now, so I'm wrong. I don't think a player who's already said they're going to be in the portal, a.k.a. Sananda or Kanai, returns by the 10th. I think there's obviously a chance one of them comes back, but I don't think that happens before
Who
the 10th.
are you going to say?
I mean, I see Zugers coming back. I think they're going to try
But you think that would be their first – you can't really consider that a commitment, I don't feel like.
If he's not in the portal.
Like, even if they say, running back, year 2, that still doesn't count.
But would you feel that way if it was Adrian Woolley?
Yeah, because he's still on the team. He hasn't announced he's going to the portal.
But we don't know if he's going to be on the team still or not.
Well, I mean, it's not technically like a commitment, though. Like
it's not a contract either. He's free to go.
It's not. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's levels to it. Like, okay, first external commitment. I think it's going to be
the Shellstad kid from Oregon.
You think so?
Yep.
I think it's going to be the kid from Liberty.
I think the kid from Oregon apparently is only in with us in Arizona at the moment, so I think you've got a good shot.
Isn't he visiting Arizona?
That's the issue.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to. Where's he from? Where's Shellstad from?
He is from Westland High School in Oregon.
Oh, so he's from the West Coast. Well, that's just fantastic. I think it's going to be Brett Decker, the guy from E-Town, who is like the 3-point specialist.
He shot like 47%, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you have to account for the percentage probably would drop a bit because you're jumping up competition. But he was a 17 points per game scorer on what was the best team in their conference before they got beat in the conference tournament.
But the one thing
the thing about it is he is a 3-point specialist.
Yeah, that's
he averages less than 3 rebounds and 1 assist. So he's a guy that I think that there's like an underrated ability to take the ball to the rim, but he's your 3-point specialist. He is your Rain Smith next year if he commits.
That's who I was gonna go with. If that's who you're taking, I'm gonna shoot high and say we grab
Flory
somebody.
Badunga.
I wish that's not who.
You imagine if he commits at 12:01.
If we got Flory Badunga at 12:01, I'd say this is going to be a really good year. Or we just spent $12 million, and that's our only. It's going to be us three backing him up in the backcourt.
It's you, Cole Sherman. Or no, he's gone now.
Yeah.
It's you, Will Hankey, Matt Childress, Ron McKelly, and Dalton Pence.
Flory's going to eat. He's going to get every shot.
He's getting every shot.
He's getting every shot. That man's draft stock is going to shoot up. No, I'm going to go up. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that we throw a bag at Miles Bird.
You think he's the first commit, though?
I think so.
That's a hot take, buddy.
I'm with Roman here. I think that it's going to be a defensive-minded. Obviously, he's a forward, but he's like, he can play. He can guard the 2. He can guard the 1 if we really do. A guy that's smaller, he's going to fit into like more of a backcourt rotation, but defensive-minded. That's going to be my hot take pick. Pat Kelsey wants to make a big splash early on.
Who's somebody that hasn't necessarily been linked to Louisville that you want to see them go after? I have 2 guys.
Kwame Evans?
That's not one of them, but Kwame Evans would be really solid.
I'd love to get Kwame Evans.
Actually, there's 3 players. I lied. The first one is Marcus Burton.
That'd be nice.
The Notre Dame point guard.
Uh-huh.
Guy's just a bucket.
Is that the one that Mike was talking about on the show earlier, Roman? Or is that somebody else?
He was talking about him yesterday. Did he get it brought up today?
He was talking about him yesterday on Sunday on Easter.
Oh wait, no, yeah, that was today. You're right, Matt.
Okay.
What did he say?
Just bringing up how like the scoring statistics and stuff, and the
guy
recruitment process before he got to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean the guy's a bucket.
Like Juke Harris.
Juke Harris. The issue is right now he's the number 1 player in the class. I think Juke Harris is going to be.
He's had a John Blackwell.
John Blackwell, solid.
24/7.
I think Juke Harris is going to be getting a lot of money. The other player is KJ Lewis.
Yeah.
You know that name?
Yeah, I like KJ Lewis. That's a Georgetown, right?
From Georgetown, yeah.
I wanted him last year badly.
6'4" junior that's played.
I like anybody that can beat Kentucky.
He's played Power 5 ball. He is one of the best on-ball defenders in the portal currently. All Big East third-team guy. Had a breakout junior season. Think he's a solid secondary, tertiary scoring option in the starting lineup. Caden Lewis is another guy that I'd like to see Louisville go after.
This is a name that, like, I wouldn't be mad if he got announced and he was just coming here. We didn't know out of nowhere. Day Ames. I know what we have to
Just
say about
entered
him
the portal today, isn't he?
defensively. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, was it?
I think it was today.
Today.
Well, you know, because you guys know we're getting Eli Ellis, right? So we can get the Ellis brothers together.
I really, really hope we don't bring
Dalton doesn't like any of my jokes.
Was that
today.
another joke?
He's not having a good. We're not having fun radio here, Dalton. Come on. No, realistically,
if you make a joke, it has to be funny.
Realistically, I'd like us to get Ace Glass.
Who?
From Washington State. Ace Glass. He's a freshman last year.
I don't think I know who that is.
It's Washington State, right? Not wrong with that. Yeah, Washington State. I believe he was a freshman this year.
I still don't know who that is.
He was really good.
I mean,
he was basically their lifeline.
Just because I don't know who it is doesn't mean that they're not a good player. I just don't know who they are. I'm sorry.
You're good. He was basically like their lifeline this season, but he's really good. He is in the portal. He's also a lower grab. He's 80th on the list right now.
I was about to say I was like looking through the rankings and didn't see anything. Who do you all want to see Louisville go after? 502-414-1450 to send some thoughts into the Game Day Men's Health text line. But you mentioned John Blackwell. John Blackwell would be a great addition. Averages almost 20 points a game. The Abdulas kid from Virginia Tech is intriguing.
I'm good off that.
I think that the floor is lower, but the ceiling is higher.
I think I like him, and I agree with you. I think that he would require a little more development, and our staff hasn't seemed to be able to develop anybody right now.
What about Jeremiah Wilkinson from Georgia? You've seen those rumors that Louisville's potentially involved there.
I would love to get Jeremiah Wilkinson.
Would love that as well.
Do you kind of worry, though, like you'd be going out and getting guards that are shorter and not great defensively? Yeah. Not speaking about Wilkinson specifically, but I'm talking about, do you worry about going out and getting guards that – because last year we just weren't great at defending people on the perimeter. Do you worry about getting shorter guards that aren't great defensively? Yeah, they might be able to score, but where do you draw the line?
If Pat Kelsey's coming to me directly saying, "Hey, Matt Childress, on April 6th."
Are you going to tell him one of your bad jokes?
No, I'm not going to tell him one of my bad jokes. On April 6th,
what if he doesn't laugh? Are you going to feel even worse?
No, I'm going to make him laugh. I'll keep telling him 10 more.
I feel like he would laugh just to make you feel
I'll hold him hostage.
Like the Clippers had DeAndre Jordan.
I'll say, "Hey, Pat, all I'm saying is fans loved you a lot more when the glasses were on. Put them back on, Pat. Got contacts out there. What are we doing?"
Was that another joke?
No, that was just being serious.
Oh, I was about to say, you would have been 0 for 3.
No, that one was being serious. Pat needs to get rid of the contacts.
Can you help my guy over here? I'm just messing with you.
All I'm saying is the vibe started to go down when he took the glasses off.
He's not wrong.
Or the schedule got tougher.
That's true, too.
I mean, both. Maybe he couldn't see.
I never liked the take about the glasses.
I'm going to name you Louisville's starting 5 next year, okay? You ready?
Let me finish my point. Hold on. If he came to me and I got to choose what our philosophy was for hitting the portal here, it is the first 3 people come off the board are defensive-minded guards and big men. One, a point guard that is defensive-minded, Chucky Hepburn-esque, and then a 4 and 5 that are just grueling, big, physical in the paint, and then you can put 2 combo guards around them. Those are who I'm hitting the first 3 big pieces in the portal.
Well, here's the Louisville starting 5. I saw the script. Okay.
Okay, ready.
Starting 5: Flory Badunga, Juke Harris, John Blackwell.
And then now the credit card comes out.
Yeah, you've already used your whole budget there.
It's not mine. Santos Surreal and Miles Bird.
That guy's gonna pull the MX Black card.
Just casually mentioned an $18 million starting lineup.
Nah, man, we're deferring the payments like the Dodgers.
Deferring the payments. We found another loophole.
We're only paying $2 million this year.
And then London Johnson's our only player on the bench.
I'll take it. I'll take that starting 6 and then or the starting 5 with the 1 player off the bench, and then you just bring in.
They move Will Hankey up to scholarship player.
We'll text Roman. Hey Roman, can you cover me today? I gotta go work my night shift at McDonald's to pay for our roster. Can you cover this practice?
Oh, man. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to see what the portal does for the
too.
Cardinals. I'm excited to crash out 24 hours in when things don't go our way.
They've got their work cut out for them.
Do you think there is any chance that Louisville gets a commitment from a player almost immediately?
Yes.
Define immediately.
I'm talking like the portal opens and you see somebody like
12:01?
Maybe overnight you see somebody say this player's linked to Louisville, and then like 7 a.m. the next day, like on the 8th.
Yes.
They get a commitment from that guy.
Pretty confident in that. Even after Dan said what he said?
I think so.
I think if it is, it's a player like Decker.
I could see that. Somebody who really doesn't need that big of a visit. You're from around here.
Didn't he grow up a Louisville fan? Am I mistaken on that? I thought I saw somewhere where he grew up a Louisville fan.
I had heard links to that as well, but I didn't have anybody
not hear any of that.
But I didn't see any evidence directly relating to it.
It's about time someone grew up a Louisville fan and chose to go to Louisville.
It's true.
I mean, granted, Conwell went to Louisville games with his granddad when he was younger, but
Trey Singleton's a Louisville fan.
Trey Singleton's not going to leave Northwestern.
He's already announced.
Do we think Bryson Tiller listens to Bryson Tiller?
No.
Is Singleton actually in the portal?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one is officially, but yeah.
That just goes to show you there's so many names that are out there.
Roman, you know who Ace Glass is, right?
I feel like I've heard that. Trey Singleton's the number 76 on 24/7.
Ace Glass.
4 spots below Kanai Roos.
6'3", 185 pounds from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Freshman averaging 16.4 points a game.
Bring him in.
But who did he play against? He played in the West Coast Conference.
Yeah, not a great conference.
You worried it's another Woolley?
I mean, I think the West Coast Conference is better than the Sun Belt.
Didn't he have like a 40-point game this season?
I'm looking at it right now. He did have a 40-point game against Arizona State.
I knew it.
Wow.
You guys are over gaslighting me.
Actually, he only had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games this season scoring in single digits.
Bring him in.
You might be cooking there.
Number one commitment, Ace Glass.
So you guys don't want to bring Dior Johnson in?
Is this Roman's attempt at a joke now? I think Dior's really talented. It's just that you would have him for 1 year. Because, I mean, you've seen the list of schools that he's, like high school and college. It's like 13 schools in
5 years or
5 or 6 years.
How much Pop Smoke will we play before the games if we got Dior Johnson?
I do. I'm interested to see who pays him and where he goes.
Well, he started out at Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
I could see him going lower level Power 5.
I think so too.
So, all right, we got a couple minutes left. National championship predictions. I heard Rome say he liked UConn in this game. Is that right?
I like UConn.
I think there's a chance they cover the spread. I think it's going to be close. I think
I've
it's going to be
wagered that 6.5.
I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think Vegas makes the call
under
here.
as well.
I still think Michigan wins. I think this is a Yaxel Lindenberg legacy game.
I think UConn takes this game undefeated in the national championship. Undefeated past round 62, around 32 since 1999. I don't think that ends tonight. And isn't Dan Hurley undefeated against the spread?
Undefeated after the second round. Oh, against the spread?
In the national championship? Or just all time?
In the tournament, I think all time.
How often is he an underdog in the spread? Probably not
well, I mean,
much.
Even if he's covering the spread as a favorite, that's pretty wild to think about,
That is true.
I think Michigan wins this game. I think it's going to be like 67 to 63.
Hurley never lost. Give me the Huskies.
That brought up some bad memories of watching First Take when I was younger.
He is 18-1 against the spread in the NCAA tournament.
Plus 6.5 and plus money.
He's 11-0 against the spread in the Sweet 16 or later and has covered 12 straight tournament games.
Plus 6.5.
Sad.
YouTube chat's seeing it right now. We're making the money symbol.
I keep forgetting that we're on YouTube.
Chat, are we cooked?
I don't know. Ask me in a week. Ask me in a week.
Chat, rate my setup.
That is going to wrap up this week's edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you back here next week, and hopefully we have some clarity and some commitments that we can talk about for your Louisville Cardinals. Portal opens up tonight at midnight. It is the calm before the storm. Enjoy the ride. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. And as always, go Cards.
Come on, Florida Badunga.